Well, hello guys and gals. I thought I'd do some more updating on my bodywork and progress on my Camaro and my truck. I'm still working on my doors for the Camaro. Still got a little bit more to do on the edging so that I can get the outer skin on. Just trying to get it all nicely tack welded up good and solid. I still got my front nose and the Camaro front clip to work on. Gonna have to get cleaning her up here soon too. Got a lot of paint chipping inside and I'll show you some progress on the Camaro here. Got my one fender, passenger side fender body work done on her. All block sanded and just set it back on the car. Got to bolt it back up yet. Come up really well. One panel done and out of the way. Till painting, of course. Now there's the interior. Still got to clean up the floor yet. Broom it and wash it out and do a little bit of sanding and some more of my panels pieces cut out a little bit more on my door edges in the pillar area, trying to get these pieces done, and a little bit of rod in here I got to get out and cut out too, some little holes. Got to peel this little trim off the edging here so I can put my new piece, line it up and get it in here. Also got the back quarter panels cut out again from the guy that did the body work on it before. Did a mess, so wanted to make one big piece, so a lot more less welding and less warpage. And I gotta form the inner patch here too, cut out a little bit of that. So I might come straight across a little bit further. Try to get rid of the rust in here. Also got the body work done on my trunk lid. Got the patch piece made in here. It's all in here. Needs a little bit more smoothing out. A little bit more touch up before any paint goes on her. And the trunk floor looks very good, no rust holes or nothing. So maybe scuff it up good and put some paint or black paint or maybe some chip guard paint in here or something that's durable. Paint up the trunk again. Needs a good sweep out and wipe out here yet. Wash her all up. A little bit rusty up in here. Got to get that cleaned out pretty good. Hopefully it's not too holy. It might be. Looks pretty rough in there. And got the other quarter panel on the driver's side roughly cut out. Do some sanding on her yet. Cut out some of the edging on it. So I got to form the inner panel patch piece a bit. Ooh, pretty rough. Might have to do the whole inner piece and down in here. Might have to cut this right out. So I got the outer patches cut to shape roughly already and bent for the outer edging along the wheel well area, but I got to make the inner panels yet for both sides. Yeah, it's got quite a bit of rust on the upper wells here. I'm going to get sanding them down yet too. Maybe see if I can get them all unbolted right off of here. Be a lot easier to clean them right up inside and out. Also gonna make another battery tray. Gotta spray some PP Blaster and free up these bolts so I can get this sucker out of here. Also still waiting on my buddy to help me move my Camaro into his shop so I can get this motor and tranny out. Still got a bunch of wires to disconnect yet. Unbolt a lot of stuff so I can get it at the engine wall and everything else and get it all cleaned up in here when the motor's out. That way I can paint it all up in here and sand her down and have a nice engine bay. Good sanding and everything like that should be good. Still got to clean up the very front end here yet too. Got a bit of rust down in here. Yeah, I still got to do my work on my van here. Still got to do the valve cover gaskets. I got oil leaks through my valve cover gaskets, and I got an oil pan gasket that needs to be replaced. Leaking a bit of oil underneath and over and above. So I got the gaskets all for it. I just need to find the time to get at her. And got a little bit of rust on her too that I'm still got to get at. A little bit in the door. And all the door edgings a little bit and stuff. So I need some sanding down and touching up. Nice to see the grass coming back after all that winter. Well, still getting at the chopper build here. Haven't done much on her because I've been doing all the other work. Everything's time and money, so it's going to take some time to get back at her yet. Just ordering some parts and materials for it, and
take the pledge at waterweek.org. Brought to you by Greater Vernon Water. 105.7 FM Vernon is Garrett Scott, and the Ring Club is liquidating their inventory in a massive online auction, which is happening.
yeah, I got my one rocker panel under the passenger side rocker panel here, roughly formed up. So I'm working on her too. Got to get out there and cut out the rest of the old rocker that's all rotted on there. Then get this finally shaped up and bent up perfect, and then I can get her welted in. So I got a lot of patches made up. Just getting at it and getting things done. There's a hood for the Camaro. pretty good shape. And we'll eventually get at her too. Now to the fun stuff that I've been working on. Well, I ripped my truck doors off for my Ford Ranger and cutting out all the rust on the bottom. This is the passenger door. Roughly cutting it all out. You can see all the bends that I'm going to have to put in the new sheet metal patch for it. And here's the patch piece that I got to make up. I tried to cut out in one piece more or less so I can use it as a guide. There's one big piece that I got roughly cut out that I'm going to use for the outer skin on the outer edge. Outer skin to come back over because the lip is gone. And some of the holes, some holes have come out on the outer skin, all rusted through as you can see. So I'm going to have to add some on the outer skin area to make the new lip again for the inner piece to join to. And the other door wasn't so bad. I sanded it all down really well. Wire brushed it and grinded it down, and so I'm just put on a coat of Everglass body filler over it right now. And then I just did a rough sanding of it, knocked off all the heavy off. So now all I need to do now is just get it all good and shaped and try and get her all done and ready for some primer. Probably need to put another coat on it more than likely as usual. And I like to use Everglass first coat and then some regular Bondo Evercoat lightweight body filler over top of it. Very easy to sand that Evercoat, very light stuff. Okay, back to the truck. Sanding in the door edging here. And trying to knock it out there and see if I need any metal replacement at all. It doesn't look too bad. Got to cut out a lot of pieces. Of course, the floor needs a good scuff up yet and good wash and clean. And still been working on these darn quarter panels on her. Almost ready to get her welded up. A little bit more tiny bit of a fit up. A little bit shaping, and we'll get them welded in. Just the weather's been so crazy out here with rain a lot and so windy. It's been kind of hard to get at any welding. Also been doing a bit of grinding and cutting and sanding, and look at the rust down here. Got some holes. So I have a feeling I'm going to have to Put some metal patch on here too. And down here on the other side, same thing. Look at the rust, and I might have to replace it up to the just below the body line here on both sides. And started tack welding roughly this in. Did a big burn hole. Look at that mess. A little bit too thin over here, so I might have to cut it back a bit further. We'll have to see here. Found some very thin metal, so it just went through in a spot. And there's another mess here on the other driver's side corner pillar here. Getting it roughly cut out the shape and getting it sanded in here. All pitted up. And here's the floor that I got cut out so far. And driver's side floor. Still got to get these trim pieces off a bit. Get a pry bar under there and see if I can bend her off of there. Or lightly cut it again. Some cutting discs. And quite a mess for a 1988 Ford Ranger. She's definitely seen her days. Also got on the front hood, ground out all the bodywork on her. The last guy didn't look too good, so I'm going to put some Everglass over and clean her right up again. So doing a lot of tear down, just knocking out all the rust and stuff, and seeing where I need to put body filler and where I need to add more sheet metal. So basically just trying to get these doors quickly done and good. Try and get them back on the truck here. Well, hello guys and gals. I've been working really hard on my Ford Ranger, cutting out all the rotted areas in the quarter panels. Made some templates up, rough estimate to trace on my new sheet metal when I go down and get her here tomorrow. I'm going to get a 4-foot by 10-foot full sheet, so it's about $105 plus taxes. So about 120 bucks under there, somewhere there for a full big sheet. That should be ample to finish the truck, and a whole bunch of patch panels for the Camaro. So I got her jacked up. I got a lot of dirt in my back property, so I had to bring out some blocks, cement blocks for my jack stands, so I could take the tires off and get her up in the air. Just got to take off my right side tire yet. She's all on stands, so I can get out all the rust under here. As you can see, all along the frame rails, under the bed. I was thinking of maybe taking the box off, but for how old she is, she's probably going to be a nightmare to get the box off her. So I could really get at the frame in here. We'll see how it goes here. And I got the other side, all the rust cut out, the rough template made up. And here's all the rust out of my interior floor. Look at it all. Ripping it all out, all soaked, all full of major chunks of rust. And here she is. Look at all the holes. I've been taking a chisel and taking all the rubber backing off of her, all glued down. Got that cleaned up on both sides. And I'm just gonna taking a wire wheels on my big heavy duty drill and just cleaning up the rust a bit in here so I can see exactly where I need to cut out and put a sheet in again. See, look how bad she's gone in the. It's going to be fun along the edge. And of course the trim, all the bolts are rusted in and I'm going to have to drill them out so I can get into his edging on both sides. And I'm going to take the seat out, of course, so I can get at the back here and see how bad it is at the back. And of course they're all rusted in, so I'm going to can a PB Blaster rust. Get it all freed up in here. Here's the other side. It isn't being too bad on the passenger side, but we'll see how it goes when I take the wire wheel to it so we can see better. Got a little bit up in the corner there, a little hole as you can see. And I got to take all this out yet. Chip it all out. Start again, coat her all down when I get the new metal in where I need it. Might be lucky at the back area, but I think under the seats might be a bit of rust. I'll see how it goes. I got to get this all out of here. See, all the rubber matting is just soaked, so it's collecting all the dirt and rust, making it rust underneath. Whoa, look at the rust. Big chunk. Well, that's all I've been doing is taking the drill and my little wire brushes. Just to clean up the floor a bit so I can see what I'm doing. There's quite a bit of rust. Yeah, so now I can get at making these quarter panel patches, hopefully tomorrow. So getting them fabricated up and welded in. So basically been very busy trying to get this all cleaned out. Not exactly great when your feet are going through the floor like Flintstones. What do you expect for a 1988 truck? Used and abused. Yeah, it's pretty rusted on those seats. They're going to be fun to get out of here. Yeah, it pretty much comes off pretty easy here. All I've been doing is using a chisel. It's so wet and moisture. Pretty much just picks apart very easy. So just a little video there, guys and gals, of what I've been working on like a crazy. Trying to make her look better. A little bit more years out of driving her without her all falling apart on me. So thanks for watching. Hope to hear some comments, and till the next video, I shall talk to you all soon again. Okay, have a great one, guys and gals. Bye bye. Hey guys and gals, just doing an updated video on doing my body work on the Camaro in my truck. And I got my first coat of Everglass down on a lot of the panels and sanding them down. This is my trunk lid, my Camaro. It's going to need a second coat to cover some. I sanded down a little bit further in some areas, so it's going to need a second coat in some spots. And Camaro front passenger side front fender. Just got to sand a little bit more on the inside wheel well area. It's going to need a second coat on a lot of the spots. Sanded a little bit too far in some areas. Still got to finish this one, put its first layer on now. I got it all ready. Poor room's just a disaster with all the sanding. It's going to take me a couple days just to clean my room out. And a whole bunch of new stock sandpaper. And 10 sheets of 100 grit. And 10 sheets of 80 grit. Knock down all this filler work real quick. And then 10 sheets of 320. And some 500 grits. And get some 180 and 220 somewhere. I haven't done anything. What? And here's Satajet. Here's my CB750 shocks or forks that I was talking about. Really rough and pitted up and corroded. Did a little bit of sanding on it already. And slowly coming back. I'm not going to be using those shocks on my chopper build, with those forks on my chopper build, because I'm going to be building my Springer front end, so I might put them on eBay once I clean them all up and polish them up again, make them look nice and spiffy. Well, what's wrong with her?
Terrible.
Well, I don't know.
Come and see her.
Well, I'm making a video right now. Gee. And working on my DT100 Enduro, pretty dark in here. Doing the wiring on her, getting her all buttoned up. Got a lot of little things to finish up on her. Putting the chain on. I haven't forgot to put that on yet. So I got to put her back on the little bike table. Get her all cleaned up and all the wiring tightened up and plugged up, and try and put her in a paper and give her for sale. So there's just a little updated video for now until I make some more progress. So that's what I've been up to for the last little while. So thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you all soon, and hope to hear some comments. Okay, bye-bye. Well, hello guys and gals, this is Sunday, and I've been working in my workshops. I thought I'd give a little bit of a tour of my two shops, what I do. Here's my Honda CB750 I've already shown. Just got new tire for the front. Got to get it mounted on the front rim. That's today's project. And that, so I can get my frame set up to get it hardtail frame built properly and at proper ride height. And also some of my other projects. I'm building a Springer front end. Here's some of the parts that I've so far cutting out. Got to reshape them a little bit more and get them drilled out to the final sizes. So I have a nice old school Springer for that girl over there. And I also built a tubing bender, a JD2 tubing bender. I ordered the die because I didn't have a lathe to make the machine, do the machining for it, so that was about $300 just for the die alone for a 1 1/8 inch tubing size. Plates were fun to do with my drill press and ratchet arm and everything else. And I made my own little degree wheel, nothing fancy. And that. So yeah, this is pretty much what I've been doing today so far, a little bit. And here's my welder, just a little Lincoln 90 amp, nothing fancy, great for my sheet metal work and the stuff that I do, but I do have to upgrade, get a little bit bigger pretty soon for doing heavier frame stuff. But I do have a buddy that does the heavier welding for me when I can't do it with my welders, so it's no problem there. And also bought another tool, you know, good old brand new reciprocal saw And I got that for a great deal, 90 bucks, brand spanking new. So I can do some more cutting up of stuff with that too. And also, a couple months back, I got myself my hole saw machine here where I can put my hole saws on and angles for degrees and cutting in the tubing and that. I got that from Eastwood, and I think it was $60 or so or something like that for that. So that's not too bad. So yeah, and of course the regular chop saw and belt sander and stuff like that. So yeah, it's just trying to get more room in my shops here so I can get working a little bit better here. So yeah, so this is the frame that I'm doing right and adding on in here for my hardtail. And so I got to make some spaces in here for the battery behind the seat post and that, so got a little bit of a mock-up to do here. Redoing the backbone bracing here too, just trying to figure out the design and that, because I got to put my coils in here in between. I want to have them nice and compact so they're not in the way and protected. So yeah, and I'll get some tubing started here. Also, there's my new tubing that I got for the hardtail right in here. So that's for my new hardtail build. Once I get the bender mounted up here, I can start bending up my tubing. So yeah, that's a bit of the fun today. And also still working on these Camaro trim in the doors. Been grinding them up a bit and cleaning them up. Coming up pretty good. Taking the wire brush to them all. And a little bit pitted up a bit. I think I can fix them up. And I already did the chrome ones a bit, buffed them up, so they're a lot better. Still could use a bit of more of a polish, get a shine on them. They're a lot better. At least no more rusty, big rust. Just a little bit on this one here. Might have to do a little bit of work on. A little few holes. Nothing too bad. So I'm about to get to the Camaro driver's door, getting ready to cut out some of this rot. And there's my pickup truck again, finishing that body work on that poor fender here. Got quite a crease in there. Rear front fender bent in a little bit. I got to pull that again. A little bit of a hit on the front end there. And the other front fender. Still got a bit of work there yet. And I got the doors all done. And put in some panels on that already. That's all been done. Just got to finish up the rear on the old truck. Rear quarter panels a bit. It's starting to rust a bit again. Yeah. Got to go back over them both. And the door. A little bit to go. And I did my rims on the old 1988 Ford Ranger pickup anyway. Got them all silver polished and painted up a bit and put some caps on them all. Of course, the Camaro, she's got some nice chrome rims. Still looking for some center caps for them all though. Haven't decided yet on those. But they're getting a little bit of rust in there. I might have to do a bit of work on them too. Getting a little bit scuffed in there. So yeah, so there's just a basic brief run through of what I'm doing here. So I got a lot going on right now. So thanks for watching, and I will talk to you later. Bye bye.